The best time to make risky investments in your investing career is at the start when you are young, and today I'm going to tell you exactly why. How's it going, guys? Ryan here with another investing video, and today we're talking about why you should take riskier investments whilst you're still young. But before we get into that, guys, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out so much, and leave any comments, questions or queries down below. And in particular today, let me know what are some of the more riskier investments that you've made that have actually paid off. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight into the video. And today, as I mentioned, we're talking about why it is extremely beneficial to take riskier investments when you are young. And this is something that I have learned from experience, and a number of reasons that I say this come to mind. The first of which, and one of the biggest factors that influences the ability to take risky decisions, is I've got no liabilities, in the sense of I don't have to look after a family. I don't currently have a mortgage. I'm living out of home, which is very beneficial. I am not married, so I don't have to take care of a family or anything like that. I effectively have no risk in the sense of anyone is dependent on me or depending on other things, such as I have to pay water bills and that sort of stuff. This is the prime time for young people to take these risks, as they generally don't have those sorts of things that are sitting there waiting for you to throw money at them. And it's extremely good, because what you can effectively do is, if you're working a full-time job, if you're working a part-time job, if you're studying, all that income that you're bringing in, you can pull together a larger percentage of it and put it into the stock market, because you don't have those initial costs and outlays like bills, rent or a mortgage, feeding your family, that sort of thing. Generally, younger people don't have these sorts of risks, and they are able to take larger risks as a result of that. So this is one key factor that I find is incredibly influential when it comes to making investing decisions which are on the riskier side if you are getting in early. Now, the second reason why I believe you should take riskier investment decisions when you're younger is time. Effectively, you've got so much more time to actually recover should something go wrong. For instance, if you're in your 50s and you make a bad investment decision and unfortunately you blow up your investment portfolio, you've only got roughly on average 10 to 15 years until the generic retirement age before you have to recover all that money. When you're getting in there early, when you're young, when you're in your 20s or even in your late teens, effectively what you're doing is giving yourself a lot more time to make those sorts of mistakes. And making those sort of mistakes are things that generally do occur when you're investing in the stock market. And not just the stock market, but investments in general. Real estate, stocks, any other form of investment, even education is a form of investment. And you might decide that you want to study something and you work out it's a waste of money at the end of it. Unfortunately, that means if you're in the later stage of your life, you don't have enough time to recover. But if you're in your early 20s, or if you're in your teens, that sort of thing, you've got a lot more time to financially recover. And that's why it's so good to be able to get into investing in stocks and taking riskier investments earlier on. And lo and behold, if those riskier investments do pay off, you've got a much longer time to enjoy them. This leads me into number 3, and it comes down to education once again. And the reason that investing in riskier stocks is better when you're early into the stock market is due to the fact that you're getting in there and learning. You're educating yourself straight out from the get-go. The quicker you start learning and the quicker that you start putting your own skin in the game, making investments which maybe yourself you deem riskier, but as you start to learn, you start to grow, they don't become as risky because you understand what you're actually investing in by that stage. You educate yourself a lot more quickly. And as a result, as you are getting older and you need to reduce your risk, your risk is already reducing naturally because you understand the stock market, you understand what companies to invest in, what stocks to invest in, what's going to do well, what's going to do bad, those sorts of things. So as a result, you're effectively starting your educational journey and your trajectory for a successful investment career a lot earlier on. And this is absolutely critical. You notice a lot of the wealthier people who are investors, even take Warren Buffett for instance, in their first 10 to 15 years, they weren't making absolutely stupid money like they were currently. But what you do see is there is a natural progression in those people's net wealth. And this is due to the fact that they got in there early. They're starting to educate themselves, starting to understand at an earlier stage in their lives. So that progression means that, say, they start when they are 20, and then by the time they're 30, they're going to be a lot further along their investing career and their educational experience when they're taking riskier investments when they're in there early, as opposed to someone who, let's say, starts at 25 and they start taking riskier investments and that sort of thing. They've only got then till that 30-year point, and as a result don't have as much time to educate themselves in order to de-risk those investments. And the beauty is when you combine all these different things and all these different factors effectively, it means that you're making riskier investments that are going to pay off in the long run if you choose the right stocks to invest in the long term. So I'm going to wrap the video up there today, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please remember to leave a like. It helps me out so much. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please remember to do that as well and hit that bell button so you're notified when new videos are released. And as I said before, let me know down in the comments what are some of the riskier investments that you've gotten yourself into that have paid off. And with that, guys, I hope you have an awesome day. See you next time. Cheers.